actually, I was in South Dakota playing in the CBA, and my agent called me and said, you want to go? You want to go to Australia? And I was like, yeah. Like, honestly, I didn't really care how much money I was going to be earning. I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of the CBA. So he said, okay. He said, Brett Brown's going to call you. Brett called me, talked to him for, maybe 5 minutes on the phone, explained to me what I'm coming for, what I got to do. And then the rest was history. I was on my way, on my way here. I knew where it was. I knew a little bit about it, and I say that because of Ricky Grace. Like I knew they took point guards out here. That's actually pretty funny. My first night in Australia, I stayed in the city. I stayed in a hotel in the city, and then the next day I was in Warrnambool for a whole week. My first week. So my first week was. I know it was basketball, I know it was, it was getting to know, it was kind of like a bonding thing with the team, but my first week was in Warrnambool, so a bit interesting. I was like, what's going on? I'm thinking to myself, I never said anything, and after that week came back, finally they already had a place for me to stay, and turned out to be, I'm still here. Looking back on my first year, I thought the league was good. And myself being a point guard, I was, got to run a team. You had to do a lot. You know what I mean? The Australian talent, I'll say back then, I don't think it was as good as it is now. I think it's when I say heaps, I think it's heaps better. I mean, that's obvious when you got a couple of guys in NBA, and, a lot of our best players go to Europe. Yeah, 1994. Like I said, as far as basketball, my thing was I was just coming to play. I wasn't really, I wasn't thinking about winning championships. I was just coming to play. And, coming out of the CBA, it was, opportunity to play all the time. And to actually win it in my first year was it was just one of those things. It just happened to happen. It just happened to happen like that. We was good. Brett Brown did a good job of. Because he just changed, he didn't really change us. He only changed one person, and that was me. He kept the same team and brought me in as a point guard, and we ended up winning the championship. That was pretty awesome. And then I won one my last year. So I won one coming in, I won one going out, which is pretty good.
North Melbourne will have the last play in this first period of overtime. McDonald can win the game for North Melbourne. So it's come down to the last shot again.
He's got to go, he's got to go!
McDonald.
He wants to draw the foul!
Up goes the shot! Makes it! Makes
what
it!
A shot!
And the game is over! McDonald has won the game for North Melbourne on the buzzer in the first period of overtime.
I'll be honest, I think winning it my first year kept me a job here. You know what I mean? And at my age, I came out when I was 29, 30. You know what I mean? Pretty good, earning a pretty good living. I played and I played, continued to play. And I think what was good for me was probably, I did get the opportunity to bring my children out. I'm coming from New York where, it's hard for me because that's my hometown, but it was just, I would say the Australians just, they took to my kids like they was their own, and that really done it for me, Here was really laid, really laid back, where I lived at, I was out in the Heidelberg area, and it was so quiet. It was, I was like, it was kind of like, I need something to happen because it's just too quiet here. When you grow up in that, all the time, everybody's 100 miles an hour. Coming here, it was an opportunity for me. Because like I said, coming from the ghetto, you got crime, you got the drugs, and it was an opportunity for me to get out of that. I'm not saying, it's like that a lot of places. I'm not saying it's not like that here. But where I come from, that's what I grew up in. And so when an opportunity like this comes, you take advantage of it. I took advantage of it, and it's probably changed my life. I'll tell you the honest truth. Coming here probably changed my life.